Welcome to Acton in Focus. I'm Vivian Kopsinja-Birchall, your host, and my special guest today is Miss Patricia Costa, the new Economic Development Director from the town of Acton. Patricia, welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's a pleasure being here with you.
It's a pleasure to have you here in person. Maybe even to kick us off, how long have you been in the town now?
Oh, I actually started in April, so 3 months now.
3 months. Well, welcome to the town of Acton.
Thank you.
And maybe to start us off, what's your background and how did you get into economic development?
Well, I have a background in economics, actually. I majored in economics, then I got a master's degree in geography. And I spent most of my life working as a college professor. But interestingly, while working as a college professor, I was also responsible for coordinating activities for undergraduate students, which consisted of collaborations with municipalities. So I basically would identify opportunities for undergraduate students to put into practice what they learned in class and apply it to promote economic development in cities, towns, and neighborhoods around Brazil where I grew up. So yeah, this is a little bit of my background. I also worked with other municipalities here in the U.S., Revere, Framingham, and now in Acton.
It's great that you have that background with trying to teach and empower youth, the young people, to understand the concepts of economic development, because they are the future, first of all, and they are also, as we groom them for employment in the sector, I think it's great to have this hands-on. But before, and I'll come to that later in terms of what to plan for the town of Acton. But before we go there is a big question. What is economic development? Because everyone describes it differently. But to you and to the town, what is economic development?
Wow, that's a great question. Economic development is a set of strategies and initiatives that can promote economic development, as we say. But what is it? Economic development consists of making businesses work well in town, promoting a good environment for companies to operate and for people to live. So what is interesting about economic development, and that makes it difficult to define in a few words, is the fact that it intersects with so many other initiatives carried out at the town itself, but also with local stakeholders, nonprofit organizations, and different layers of administration, of public administration, because everything that goes on at the state level will impact the town and vice versa. Everything that is planned for neighbor towns and cities will impact the town of Acton. So these connections and these intersections are what make economic development interesting, challenging, but overall it consists of promoting a better place to live and to work for residents, for companies, for those who work here, for those who commute using Acton, commute to Acton and commute from Acton. Yeah, in a few words, this is what economic development is about.
That is helpful, especially for our audience as we have continue with this conversation. And it's great that you mentioned the people who are going out of Acton for work and those who are coming into, because I was looking at the economic development strategic plan, and I saw those numbers, those figures. I think Acton exports around 11,000, and then imports people who come in around 9,000. So there's a bit of a difference there, which brings me to the next question. What are some of the town's upcoming visions and goals for economic development, starting with the strategic plan that is up on our website?
You mean the challenges?
No, what are the goals?
The goals.
What does the town want to do with economic development and your office? So I'll leave it open-ended.
Yeah, well, we are planning, first of all, to integrate arts, culture, and recreational activities into the concept of economic development, into the initiatives of economic development. So this is an important part of this moment in economic development in town, and this is also one of the strategies set forth at the Strategic Economic Development Action Plan to consolidate the concept of a cultural district and work towards it. In this sense, we've been working currently with the Metropolitan Area Planning Council in order to assess the culture and arts in town, so that we can properly bring these assets into the concept of economic development. So this is a key aspect of the current actions and the current initiatives.
When we talk about arts and culture as drivers for economic development, what does that look like to you, and how is that going to manifest in the plan that you have for the town?
We intended to combine this inventory that the Metropolitan Area Planning Council is going to prepare for us. We intend to combine them with the businesses that are already established in certain areas of town, so that we can literally prepare or map what people can do, what visitors and residents can do within a certain area, a walkable area. So when they shop, for example, at a specific grocery store, they can also go to the other stores around it, but they can also go to this museum to see this, to enjoy this recreational activity, or to see this piece of art. So we intend to create some pockets of walkable areas that combine retail, dining experiences, but also arts, culture, and recreation. So this is the plan.
Right. And then speaking of integration of culture and wellness, so I was again looking through the strategic plan, and it was great to see the dynamics of the different populations, demographics, for lack of a better word, where the projections for the next 10 years, 20 years. So what are some of the steps in place to ensure that what you're planning aligns with the projected population sizes? I see there's going to be an increase in seniors I saw a staggering percentage of 145% projection over I think by 2050 or something like that. So I'll leave it open-ended.
Yeah, well, when we think about the demographics, it just reinforces how important the aspect of housing is for the town. So think about housing, plan for housing. And this is not only Acton, but it is nationwide. But for Acton specifically, given the percentage of the population in certain age groups, we have to think carefully about housing. And we also have to think strategically about the storefronts that we have, especially on certain corridors like Great Road, work towards promoting the occupation of these storefronts and also creating synergies with the existing businesses and new businesses so that the town can grow and meet the needs of the resident population.
I think that would tie into one of the goals that I saw the town would like to have service-based businesses. And so what is that exactly? How do you envision service-based businesses as a new projected goal?
Well, we have to think about the retail that we already have and consolidate it and reinforce it. We have to think that Acton is very strategically located at the intersection of certain roads and corridors. So we have Route 2, we have 27, we have 119. So we are very strategically located when we think about this area where we are and the neighbor towns. So consolidating and reinforcing this retail profile is important, but we also have to think about other services that give support to existing businesses. And I mean banking, law offices, communications, and all the other services that gravitate around manufacturing. And at the same time, we have to reinforce the role of manufacturing in town. We have great companies here, and we have to make sure that they also can create synergies with other businesses related to their own scope, to their own core activity.
Speaking of sources of revenue for the town, we see a lot of chatter on our social media groups where people are concerned that the increase in taxes, property taxes, are really getting to them. But in terms of the town's plan, what are some of the other alternative sources of income beyond property tax that you're hoping to have? I know you've talked about industry, you've talked about storefronts, but are there additional sources of income that that we haven't perhaps talked about?
Well, when we think about the town's finances, any municipality's finances, when we talk about revenues, it essentially comes from taxes. So it's inevitable to consider taxes. But we can also work simultaneously to the taxes with other initiatives, for example, grant applications that will benefit the businesses and attract new businesses, and also work towards the existing businesses so that they want to stay and they want to expand. So this is a strategy that can potentially increase our tax revenue, and it does not necessarily depend on increasing the percentage of tax that we charge, you know.
Absolutely. And then in terms of, again, of the town's plan, what are some of the activities you have in store for our community that we as a community can engage with for economic development in our town?
We can engage by participating in the initiatives that the Office of Economic Development promotes. It includes a lot of events. It includes networking, business networking, but it also includes strategies to use our resources wisely in a way that they can attract more businesses and attract more customers. Among these assets that we can consider, I can mention the Bruce Freeman Rail Trail.
Okay. Yeah, and so how can you explain again how the Bruce Freeman Rail Trail could be used for potential economic development?
Well, users of the trail, they shop in town. They can shop in town. They can come to our restaurants, to our cafes, so it can help us work specifically on the Great Road Corridor, the stores located there, the restaurants located there. Talking about the rail trail, we recently had the launch of the Minuteman Bike Share, which reinforces how the rail trail connects Acton to neighbor towns. So we have to work in this direction. I think this is very strategic to think about these corridors of communication and collaboration and access from other towns to Acton and from Acton to other towns. So this is one example, just one example that we recently we recently inaugurated, I would say, and it is related to the rail trail.
Absolutely. So one other follow-up question is, do we have any statistics on how many residents by town, I know that's a hard question, use that Bruce Freeman Rail Trail? Because I'm kind of curious. And if not, is there an easy way of finding out, just so we know, like, how many people are passing through our town?
Well, not that I know of, but we have the Friends of Bruce Freeman Rail Trail, and it's part of my priorities to work close to them for the next year. We're just starting the fiscal year now, so it's the right moment to plan for the upcoming 12 months. So we definitely have to get to those numbers and see the potential that we can explore.
I love strategic planning. Now that you mentioned that you're starting the fiscal year planning, what are some of the ways that the community can engage in this planning process for the next fiscal year in terms of priorities for economic development?
Well, one of the ways to get engaged is through the Economic Development Committee. So I think anyone who has the time, the energy, the drive to contribute with the town should consider joining the Economic Development Committee. If not as a member, at least attending our meetings and bringing in ideas. Because although we have a brand new strategic plan, economic development strategic plan, the goals set forth in the plan will not become a reality if we do not properly implement actions to make those goals, to achieve those goals. And residents know better what they expect for their towns. Local businesses know better what they expect for their town. So despite the fact that I do a lot of economic outreach and I get this input from key stakeholders, it's always welcome that those interested in working with the town, in bringing in their contributions, that they share their ideas, that they share their concerns and their thoughts, so that we can better plan for how we are going to implement each of these strategies, each of these actions.
Right, and then at the start of this interview, you talked about the mentorship program you had with youth. Now, bring it back to our youth here in Acton. What are some of the ideas? It might be either plans you already have or ideas you may have of engaging our younger people in boosting the economic development of the town. And in that context as well, I'm reading the strategic plan again, looking at the projected populations. The under 19th were going to kind of dip. They were going to reduce in terms of population projection, if I read it correctly. But I don't know how that would affect economic development, given that some of the economic activities are based on parents with young children. So I know it's kind of a mixed question, but take it on.
Yeah, well, I've been in touch with the Acton Boxborough High School. I actually had a pleasure to attend their civics fair last month in June, and I could see the projects that the students at school presented, and many intersect with economic development. So working close to a school is excellent in many aspects, because we bring the students into we connect the students with our plans, in the sense that they will also discuss in class what they envision for the town where they live. And this is one of the ways to work with the school, by having close contact with the coordinator of social studies. But also we are planning to launch a project soon that consists of students of the Acton Boxborough High School. They will make their contributions for a specific visual identity in the districts of town. So in terms of arts and history, they will combine their perception of arts and history, giving shapes and colors and identifying key images that would be imprinted in banners for South Acton, for West Acton, for Kelly's Corner, for the Great Road Corridor. So this is a way to get them engaged, because by inviting them to participate and think about, okay, so what is the image, the color, the right image that represents these different areas in town, they will be invited into thinking about what makes that area unique, what makes Kelly's Corner unique, what makes West Acton unique.
Then one of my final questions is, as we're moving toward the future of Acton, how do I phrase this question? What are some of the strategies in place to keep attracting the local businesses? Because there are certain corridors that have suffered, like Great Road, over so many years. So what are some of the new strategies, or maybe revised strategies, for keeping businesses functioning in the whole town so that we don't lose them, and also attract new ones to fill in all the unoccupied business lots?
Yeah, we are already working in these regards, considering some ways to enlarge our capacity, especially for sewage. This is a key component of being able to attract more businesses, especially to the Great Road corridor. But we also have to think not only locally and regionally, we also have to think from the perspective of the international connections. And we have key companies in Acton that are leaders in their segment. So why not connecting them, for example, to international chambers of commerce to project Acton? And this is something that, from my background, this is something that I really like to do. Is like connecting Acton to chambers of commerce that represent other countries, not only because of my background as a Brazilian person, but also worldwide, so that we can reinforce some the potential that these businesses have, and we can help them create synergies. So, for example, we have Hearts Corporation, we have Insulet, we have businesses that would benefit from other businesses around them here. So why not working in this with this strategy, and why not helping them project their core businesses to other countries? So I think this can be achieved by integrating these businesses with international chambers of commerce and foundations that work more globally.
I love that idea. I think I have the bias that I've had international exposure, of course, being an immigrant, and I have witnessed firsthand how companies, organizations are interlinked when it comes to business development, economic development. There is this whole there's a lot of potential and markets out there to boost our local industries. As a friend of mine usually reminds me, we are local but global at the same time. Okay, so when you look at Acton, it's people coming from all over the places, and there's so much potential to link the town of Acton with the rest of the world. So I love that idea.
Yeah, and also, sorry for cutting you, but we also have to think that the market in Cambridge and Boston is, especially for new businesses, we don't have much space available anymore. So businesses are trying to locate at other strategic intersections. For example, Burlington, Woburn, Waltham, Needham, Framingham, and even Worcester. So the economic development is moving westwards. So Acton, in this sense, is again very strategically located because we are on Route 2. So once we reinforce this potential, and once we give opportunities for businesses to come here, they will settle, and then we can create some a new pole of development along Route 2. So this is also a strategic way to think from the perspective of what we currently have, the role of Cambridge and Boston, because they will always be important, but they cannot accommodate as many businesses anymore. So we can think about bringing these businesses westwards, and then Acton can benefit from it. Absolutely.
I cannot wait to see you, implement these ideas. I think it's going to be amazing to watch, and I look forward to bring you back for updates on how far you've gone, the status on implementing some of those amazing ideas. But is there anything that we haven't talked about, your work as a new economic development director, or your vision, or anything economic development?
Well, I think then we get back to your first question: what is economic development? We have to think outside the box, and in order for us to think outside the box, we have to be connected with all possibilities, not only locally, but also at the state, federal level, and internationally. So this is what I bring to the table. This is the perception that I have, being myself a person who grew up and studied in another country, who built connections with scholars and professors all over the world. So I hope that this perspective that I bring to Acton will make a difference.
I believe it will. So I am that way. I studied in Uganda, you know, so out of this country, and you know, that kind of gives one a different lens through which we look at things. So I'm excited to see what, you know, what that looks in terms of developing the economic landscape of the town of Acton, and I will be here to have these conversations going. And in case you need any partner, you can consider Acton in Focus a partner in economic development. Actually, there is one thing that we would like to do, and I can mention it to you as the economic development director, is to find a way of local businesses in Acton, in addition to them working with your office, if you can encourage them to work with us, you know, become members of ActonTV, because that's a way we can build these relationships, build partnerships in a way that is sustainable for ActonTV, but also for the town and for businesses as well. So I look forward to developing some of those partnerships with you. With
yes, absolutely. And I think that the Office of Economic Development is the first contact, I would say, that businesses coming to town would have with the town, and they will bring their ideas, they will check if they can establish in a certain place, if the zoning allows for them to be there, and knowing this process from the beginning, I'm also able to connect them to the resources such as ActonTV, because this is communication, this is how they will spread the word about them coming to town. So we can definitely collaborate in this aspect.
Yeah, absolutely. But thank you again for your time, for coming to our office, for being a guest on my show.
Thank you.
To talk about economic development. And I certainly look forward to hosting you again to talk more about it.
It will be a pleasure. It will be a pleasure. And I think the one key aspect of promoting economic development is having everyone on board. So in this sense, communication, TV is a powerful channel to connect the town to each and every resident, because each one is important. Each one is a part of a complex puzzle. And I'm glad that I'm here, and I'm glad that I can share a little bit of my perception so that more people know, and they also know that they can reach out to the Office of Economic Development to share their ideas and to be with us implementing projects and initiatives on behalf of the town.
Oh, I forgot to ask, what's the best way for people to connect or contact you?
Well, through email, I think it would be the best way.
What's the email?
Costa at actonma.gov. Yeah, I think this is the easiest way, so that I can establish an easy channel of communication with anyone who wants to bring ideas, and also who has interest in establishing their businesses in town.
Well, Patricia, it was a pleasure having you here.
Thank you so much.
And to our viewers, I hope you have heard and learned about our new Economic Development Director, Patricia Costa. You can reach out to her at the email she provided. But for now, thank you for watching. Till next time.